goes into the spillway on the other side. This will all fill up with water lettuce through the summer, and then when it fills up, it'll actually kind of chunk and push out. We've also had cyanobacteria blooms in here. It looks like green paint spilled everywhere.
Yeah.
So, also in the spillway on the other side, when we get to that, it's also filled up with water lettuce and the cyanobacteria.
I took this picture right here last April.
Flatten it out. Flatten it out.
Sprayed the water lettuce twice in here, and these are baby wood ducks that were pecking around.
Tilt it this way.
Pecking around in the dead water lettuce, and the adults were over here. But this algae bloom developed behind all of this dead water lettuce that was filling this area.
Keep tilted. I'm getting a glare.
Getting a
glare. There you go.
And this algae was just trailing out into the river, blooming and going right out into the river.
But if the flow was up, it wouldn't be there. Be minimized.
What happens is these backwater areas get hot and full of nutrients.
Above 75 degrees.
Sun gets to it, and they have these blooms. So the cyanobacteria is actually in the water.
Right.
It's like somebody's throwing paint down in the water. You're not supposed to be in the water, touching it. So it's kind of hard for the deer, the raccoons, and all that to understand that. Same when they have to come in here and they think they have to come in here and herbicide the whole thing. The plants are probably an asset in here because they're shading the sun off and subduing some of the algae blooms.
We've got the same problem down in Kissimmee. They want to use that Agent Orange down there.
Talk about your property.
Yeah, my property used to border right here on the left, actually, where the guy's fishing. So we had, I guess the markers, the boundaries were there before the Eureka cut. But, so we did lose the frontage of our property was out here on the other side of the boats. So we did lose a few acres there. I don't remember if it was like 7 acres. It was just a narrow strip. This is my my front yard growing up. This is where we'd come down to the river, to the banks. We had our fish cleaning station up here, table, and so we used to, as soon as our incentive was get chores done, so we could all head out and come down here, and there's a little strip of an island, and this was our fun part, to walk this island. We didn't have a boat growing up. Well, we had them, but they didn't always function, and then it was hard for us little girls to talk Dad into getting time to go take the boat out. So. Okay. So, choreographer at work here. So.
Any suggestion? Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Just point to her?
Like your mom is up there.
Yeah, my mom would actually, through the construction is that right of way, which is hard to see in the back through there where it kind of opens up. Sat out here and watched as her beloved swamp was destroyed. We lost Browning Creek, we all lost the springs through here, and then went right through the Indian mounds. We also had a big cypress tree that we I took it for granted until I saw, as a child, me buy it and then realized that was missing. That was the stump my mom sat on and watched them come through the swamp with a big crane taking the trees out. So she realized the crane had started to go around her and uphill, and she waved him down, which I think he'd been avoiding her because he assumed quite proper that she was not in favor of his actions. So my mom was a really sweet person. She was not antagonistic at all, and she just politely informed the guy that he was possibly going in the wrong direction. And so they got the maps out and everything, which he was surprised my mom had maps and knew all about the maps and had studied them, and they came to the determination that he was going a little bit too far up for the canal right away. So, I mean, these guys were hired. They were making good money. I have pictures of my dad walking coffee out to him across all the fallen trees. We kids knew how to walk a log real easy by the time the barge canal knocked all the trees down. That's all you had to walk on out here was fallen trees. So, but this island stayed pretty much intact, and now we're still in the Eureka Cut, but it's veered back into the river. The Cross Florida Barge Canal. Cross Florida Barge Canal was shortcutting and going up the side, so the river went over here and it missed it, and they were just making it not to actually be in a very good, efficient barge canal. They were making it to be a cheap for funding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, which was in the favor of the river because very little river was just destroyed. The only part of the river was up in the Rodman area where they put berms to force the river and water to go out this Buckman Canal, which this is the only part that's labeled the Cross Florida Barge Canal, where the locks are, and that comes back up in here to about here to Kenwood. Now what is Kenwood's way over here?
It depends on what the ramp is one place and where you access it right now is another.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Is that the Kenwood? Okay, way up here. Okay.
Yeah.
The Kenwood boat ramp, when the drawdown is here.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, my Garmin GPS, you can put in coordinates, so you can do a drop pin on Google Earth and then put the coordinates in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how.
And the more you zoom in, the more accurate it'll be. You gotta, like, get down as close as you can get to pop the pin in.
I'm gonna get this.
Yeah, I pulled out my old GPS. Well, actually, my dogs did. They ate the cover off. They've been on a roll this
I'm gonna
week.
get pictures of this, the watermarks on the trees.
There's a little bit of the old river here. This will be one of the turns that they bypassed with this Eureka Cut. Of course, it doesn't have any flow to it, so it's pretty well filled in. But I mean, there's still deep holes in there. Get out there a little bit. I'll hit my uncle's cat ashes here, his catfish hole right here.
How deep is this water right now, roughly?
9 feet right now.
9 feet. Like I said, I used to be a scuba diver many, many years ago. Patty.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, I dove to Itchintuckney and Blue Springs and Volusia County, and even did a Keys dive.
Nice.
So I haven't tried it lately, not even a snorkel, but
Right.
I don't know.
Salt Springs, good minerals, you know, it'd be a health bath.
Yeah.
We're coming out into the Spillway channel. This is the only section that was really completed and dredged for the depth in case we had a high water event. The Spillway gates and the Eureka Dam, the Spillway gates control how much water is held back or let through, how much flooding is on which side. This also fills up with water lettuce and the cyanobacteria through the hot summers. These backwater areas become, I guess, like stagnant.
Yeah.
And when they heat up, that's when we get the incubation time allowed to get some of these things going.
Yeah, look how green it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at just the trees, never mind.
Oh yeah,
on the water. Yeah, it's beautiful.
The new nice bright green, fresh leaves that have not been chewed on yet. I don't even think they've collected dust other than pollen. And they had rain yesterday to wash them off. So. And I think they took a lot of these trees out on the immediate sides, but we'll see some berms. I just don't really recall this part as a kid. I don't remember this part as a kid.
Yeah.
One thing I do remember about this as a kid, when we did get a boat, for whatever reason, it seems like every long-nosed gar in the river started in here. And we took a boat, and we, of course, back then everybody had to blow the carburetors out. So we went flying up this stretch. I mean, we were hitting gar, bam, bam.
Oh, wow.
There was solid gar everywhere. I mean, today I wouldn't do that. It'd be, to me, cruel and wanton waste. I don't know if they really got hurt, how bad, but at that point, gar was trash fish. But there was some big, big gar. To me, they looked like they were 6 feet long, monsters. A lot of people call them alligator gar.
They look ugly, but they're no threat to a diver, if I remember right.
They're
no
curious.
They're
they
curious.
Might hang with you. They're neat. I've heard divers say they like shiny stuff.
Yeah,
on the tank.
That's it. That's it.
Here's another piece of the old river cut out.
I'm gonna let it go. What I want to get is that bank.
And this is it coming in from the locks. Come in by the locks. Now we're coming into the Eureka Spillway here.
Okay, wait, let me get down.
Yep.
Okay, wait a minute. I ain't there yet.
Okay.
Whoa.
I'm practicing my finger work.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the zoom into it.
Cut my finger out.
Got it.
Okay. So to me, this was very frustrating as a kid. You get no trespassing, stay out. And here's supposed to be something to be managed for Parks and Recreation, Office of Greenways and Trails, which I don't think really came into factor right off the bat, or when they stopped the barge count. So I don't remember when the Greenways and Trails got assigned to do that. That's an interesting history date.
OGT is not foreign to me, especially in transportation, because I was on a committee there at Metro Plan, Bike and Pedestrian Advisory, and we want to understand that when I went over to Putnam County Waterways and Trails, the gentleman from OGT was there, off the Greenways and Trails.
Yeah.
And they have ramped up a lot of their trail development to make it cross all around Florida. This is especially up in this area on the East Coast, down Volusia and Brevard. I said, well, great idea, because that'll stimulate ecotourism as well. I'm surprised at the numbers that came up for it. Actually, from 2010 to 2019, it went from not looking. It's at 29 in 2019, according to Florida Parks Foundation, Florida State Parks Foundation, to 29 million a year.
Wow. Yeah.
And it was I think it was 20 or before that in 2010. That source was Department of Economic Opportunity.
Yeah. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. All of this.
Oh wow. Yeah. Hang on. Let me zoom into that a little bit.
Yeah,
oh my
this kind
God.
of gives you how a spillway functions. A lot of people think the water comes over a dam. It goes over the sill, the
Right.
concrete there.
Right.
So those metal gates, the silver part, they actually lift up, and
Right.
the water comes under those gates across that sill.
But there is nothing that can go from one side to the other,
No,
like a fish ladder or anything like that.
No, there's no water on the other side anyway.
Right.
So, but this is similar to the Robin Dam ones, to just have extra gates in there and extra.
Could this be used as part of flood control, where those gates could be raised for flood control behind the gates? Or isn't it necessary?
It's not necessary. The flooding is caused by most of this dam being completed. It floods on the other side, but it still has 400 feet to go around.
Okay.
It's not. Hopefully somebody's catching a fish. Nope.
Hopefully. Yeah, right, hopefully.
So, I mean, all of this could have been opened up for people to come and fish. And there was areas for trails to be developed all this time. There's room for basketball courts on all this concrete that's here. Especially over there at the lock site.
I'm getting the watermark all the way around.
Yeah. There's a gauge.
Is there a gauge there?
Yeah, there's a gauge is up here to the right. When you get up a little bit further, you'll see a gauge. And there's gauges on the other side. But I don't think they've ever had water flow over these. I'd have to ask. I don't think so.
Never backed up.
Yeah, go up a little further so you can see that gauge. It's on the right.
Yeah, I see it. It's notched out in the concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's notched out in the concrete.
What they call a staff gauge.
Yeah.
And then on the other side is the staff gauge.
If possible, I'd like to zoom in on that gauge right there, if possible.
Yeah, we can get right up into it.
That's Sean Rush.
Oh, really? Well, I didn't pay attention. I thought it was a private boat.
It's always struck.
See the one in the middle?
He's along the space cone.
There's a 21-foot mark, 23-foot mark. Back up a little bit. The water's kind of washed it out.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I didn't look at the gauge.
20.
Sorry,
The 20 and the 19 are gone, so we can get an idea.
18 feet deep right here.
18 feet.
And that high water, that's like the 20
All right, so the
water line.
yeah.
That's up to 23.
18 feet.
It might have some seep up, but that's pretty